Hi everyone. So today we're going to talk about CodeIgniter URLs, URI class. Okay, so the URI class provides methods that help you retrieve information from your URI strings. Note, this class is initialized automatically by the system, so there's no need to do it manually. Okay, so basically guys, the URI class is a library wherein it consists of methods that we can use in manipulating or managing the URI segments. Okay, so methods in URI class. So first we have the segment method, then we have the slash segment method, then we have the URI string method, total segments method, and then the segment array method. Okay, so these are just some of the methods available in the URI class. Okay, so let's start with the segment method. Segment method permits you to retrieve a specific segment from the URI. So ito yung syntax niya. Okay, so this URI segment, then it has two parameters. So the first parameter indicates the segment index number. Then the second parameter wherein you're going to specify a default value if the search segment is not found. Okay, so basically the return will be the segment value or the default value that we're going to specify in the second parameter. Then basically the return type will be mixed just because it can be an integer, it can be a null, it can be a boolean, it can be a string. Okay? Okay, so where n in the segment number you wish to retrieve, segments are numbered from left to right. Okay? Okay, so if we have this example of the URL, so ito yung URL na ginamit natin from our last or previous videos, which talks about the URI segments. Okay, so the segment numbers would be like this. So the first segment, which is blog, then the second segment, which is the post, and the third segment will be the one or the ID. So if we want to retrieve the third segment or the ID, we're just going to do it something like this. This URI segment, open close parenthesis, then the number of the segment, which is 3. Okay? Okay. So this is the code na ginamit natin last time. So we're going to implement the URI segment method to retrieve the specific ID. So using the code before, we are trying to implement here for managing the URI segment using the parameter approach. Okay? Ngayon, we're going to implement the segment method. Okay, so this will be the code. So we did remove the URI segment here. I mean the ID variable as the parameter. Instead, we use this URI segments or the method and access the third segment, which is the ID. So once it is returned, we're going to assign it to this particular ID. Okay? So yung code dito is katulad lang ng previous video natin. Okay, so pinalitan ko lang yung ID kung paano ba natin minamanipulate or minamanage na ma-retrieve yung specific value of the ID. Okay? Okay, so let's try to check that one. So let's type in our address bar yung URL na to, yung localhost /myfirstci project /index.php /blog/post/1. So if that happened, ito na yung magiging result niya. PHP frameworks. So checking the code, ito yung code natin. wherein we try to retrieve the third segment of the URI. So first segment, which will be the blog, second will be the post, and the third will be the ID. So following this process, so yung ID will be 1 and we try to retrieve the value from the array, which is yung value na mariretrieve natin is yung PHP frameworks. Okay, so tama naman yung output natin. So let's try other number from that. So sabihin natin yung 5. Let's try to check the code. 5 yung ID, yung mariretrieve dito will be 5. And check natin yung array. The 5 is having a value of steps on installing CodeIgniter. So tama naman yung output natin dito. Okay? So that's how we're going to manage, guys, on retrieving the specific value of the URI or the data from the URI. Okay, aside from the parameter approach. Ngayon, ginamit natin yung method to retrieve the specific value of the ID. Okay? Okay, next is /segment method. This method is almost identical to segment, except it adds a trailing and or leading slash based on the second parameter. By default, a trailing slash is added if the parameter is not used. So ito yung syntax natin. So this URI is /_segment. First parameter, same pa rin yung segment index number. Yung where, basically yung what specific slash, trailing, leading, or both. Then basically yung return value niya will be the segment value prepended or suffix with a forward slash or a slash if not found. Then return type niya is string. Okay, so let's have some samples. So we have this kind of URL, and if we try to echo this one, this URI slash have segments, then yung segment number na inilagay natin is 2, which is we're expecting na yung makukuha natin is yung post. So ngayon, saan ba ilalagay yung slash? So the slash will be at the last part. Okay, yung trailing slash. So if you try to use the leading slash, it will try to have this output. And if you try to have both, then ito naman yung magiging output niya. Okay? So that's how we can manage a specific segment. And if you want to add immediately a specific slash. Okay, next is URI String Method. These methods will return a string with the complete URI. So ito yung syntax natin. This URI, URI underscore string. Then, wala siyang mga parameters kailangan. Okay, return the URI string. Then, the return type will be a string. So let's have the sample here. So we're going to call the method this URI string. Basically, the output will be blog/post/1, which is the 3 URI that we have in here in our URL. Okay. Okay. Next is total segments method. This method will return the total number of segment. Okay, so ito yung syntax. This URI, total segments. Okay, then the returns will be the count of the routed URI segments. Then the return type will be integer. Okay, so if ito yung URL natin, basically, if we're trying to call the method, we're expecting na magkakaroon ng 3 na output. Counting this one, 1, 2, 3 will be the result of the method will be 3. So if there are other segment here, then it will just be part of the counting of the total URI segments. Okay. So that's how we're going to manage if we want to know the number of total segments na meron yung isang URL. Okay, next tayo. So, segment array method. So, this method will return an array containing the URI segments. So, ito yung syntax niya. This URI segment array. So, it will return a URI segments array. Then, the return type basically is an array. Okay, so we have here yung sample URL natin, same pa rin. Then, ito yung gagawin natin. So, this URI segment array, so I just assign it to a variable. So, I cannot echo it directly because the return type is for array. So, it will cause an error. So, what I have done here, I use a printr function of PHP. And I set the second parameter of this function to true so that it will not print immediately the value. Then I appended the pre-formatted tag so that once I echo or execute this particular statement, the output will be something like this. It is in this kind of format. Okay? So if that's the case that you want to check or you want to retrieve a specific all the segments array, all the URI segments in a form of array, then you can use this kind of method. Okay, guys? Okay, so I think that's it, guys. So I hope you learned something new today regarding our topic, which is about the CodeIgniter URLs URI class. In this particular topic, we did learn some methods that we can use on managing the URI segments. Okay, guys? So if you did learn, please click thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you will not miss our upcoming videos. Okay? So just like I always say, just keep practicing and never stop learning. Thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye for now.